Shalom, Yasharallah. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chachadash. Double honors to the beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. And peace and salutations to all you hopeful Lekdakim out there laboring that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp. And I wanted to get down to the nitty gritty, talk about the bitter of scriptures, man, and something bitter, not of the men with understanding of people that aren't going to take the Bible emotional level to extremes and contort it to what the modern day sense of the word is. And we're going to talk about, the nitty gritty of scriptures being the Deuteronomy 22 about taking hold of a woman and how it was a law that was established in the scriptures in case something happened. There's no brothers out there in Great Millstone right now doing this, not to mention the slander that has come out against the elder apostles and all the other brothers that teach this doctrine. This is something that we do defend because it's in the scriptures, but it's not something that we promote, and we only defend it in the sense of our breakdown is the correct way. Starting with the elders and apostles, this is not some sort of sick, twisted, freakish type of thing that the scriptures just had in there so that you can talk about it. No, man. This was a process to keep order and civility and social law in our people Israel, because this is a divine law, and we are in the sinful flesh, and I'm not justifying anything that a man would force himself on another woman, because that's not how Jake really get down, man, at all. But for anybody that came across a situation like that, being a father to a daughter to a father of that is an Israelite, man, we have a custom that if something were to happen, and I'm going to get down to it. I have this in the blue letter. I'm going to try to make this as straight to the point, as it gets, man. But we understand, again, I want to emphasize the point that this is an ancient custom that happened of a way a man used to get a wife, man. And that's just is what it is, man. It's in the scriptures for a reason. There's only one interpretation and breakdown. There's not a million other ways and shoulda, coulda, woulda. No, man, this is what it is. And that's why I wanted to have the blue letter, so that you can see the true understanding of certain words that people would get thrown off by. But I'm just going to get right down into it because, hey, man, this is defending the gospel, because we stand by all the scriptures, not just the scriptures that sound good or that are appeasing to women or getting a big congregation or being able to allow you to fund the ministry through your congregation because you think that you are on a position or a level. No, man. We're going to talk about everything because these other camps distort the truth to fit what they want. But again, this is Deuteronomy 22 and 23. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her. So this is a young woman that hasn't had dealings with any man, but she's promised to a husband, and another man comes over in her area, in her city, because it's talking about a dense populated area, and he lies with her. Okay, you with me? Deuteronomy 22 and 24. Then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, she was around a bunch of people. The Lord gave the woman her voice so that she can scream a very high-pitched noise that blood-curdling scream, you would get an attention of a man, especially like it emphasized in the scripture in a densely populated city. That city is, your houses are closer to each other that you would be able to hear if somebody shouted really loud like a woman scream. Because this is the damsel because she cried not, being in the city, and the man because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. Because, hey, man, he took advantage of that woman in the city, but the woman was with it too because she didn't scream. So this going into how the Lord had a judgment set for both of them to get judged. This is verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, so out in the countryside, nobody around, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die, because, hey man, he saw somebody out in the open, no witnesses, so he thought that he would be able to get away scot free. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter, because she didn't have a choice, especially a woman in the middle of nowhere getting rolled up by a man. There's really nothing that she can do if that man wants to take it, man. So, hey, and that's reality. I'm sorry that you have been told feminist lies your whole life here in Babylon the Great of how uh, uh, women have always been. No, man. The only thing stopping from men acting like this continually is the fear of the repercussion of the law. And when there is no law and order, that is why it is crucial for a woman to have a man. And a man is the head of the household to defend the woman if anything were to go wrong. And that's why, again, you women aren't on any level, nor should it usurp authority over any man. And that's just the point blank period. And we teach this so that women understand even more how vulnerable you are. Because if you put yourself in this situation, you don't cry out, you're in a city, hey, in the eyes of the Lord, you're just as guilty as that adultery, man. So again, this is both sides, how to deal with it on both sides, the male, female, the man, the woman, and the father. Because the father of the woman, if he's wronged, it's got to be paid up. But this is continuing. Salakia. Verse 27, Deuteronomy 22 and 27, for he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. There's nobody around, man, who's going to come and, stop him. No, nobody. Deuteronomy 22 and 28, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, they be found. So again, if a man sees a young woman that he liked, and he's like, hey man, this woman's available, he decided to lay hold. I want to grab him. I want to go into that word, because that goes into, the actual action of, and that lay hold is the Strong's definition. This is the Hebrew word tafas. Listen to it.
Strong's H 8610. Tafas. Tafas.
Man, so look, this is the definition. A primitive root to manipulate their body how you wanted it. Seize, chiefly to capture. Wield, specifically to overlay. Figuratively, to use unwarrantably. So it wasn't something that she wanted, but he's doing it anyways. To catch, to handle, to take hold. This is to catch, handle, lay hold, take hold of, seize, wield. To grasp, to be seized, be arrested, be caught, be captured. So again, this is not I guess you could say, it's not all throwing punches and like they showing you in the movies and ripping hair out and fucking she's unconscious and no, man, it's just grab, man. And I ain't gonna be the first one not to say it, man, but the elders and apostles, you have to understand that one of these, in this reality, man, because one of the woman's main fantasies is just getting grabbed up, man, and handled, really, and that's point blank period. And I'm not, and that's just reality, folks, because you could be out and about in the public, in the gym or whatever, and there's some woman in the corner looking at you thinking all types of things. Oh, I wish you could come over. That's the type of women they are, and you can't say that they're not, man. And that's why we're deal with reality here, not an emotional safe space. No, this is the world. It's a rough place, and it has to be talked about openly so that our people are prepared. So when these things come across the table, when they're faced with certain situations, they know how to react. So again, I'm going to read 28 again. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is a young woman, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found. A virgin also meaning that she's not dealt with another man. Verse 29, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, which is not a small amount, man. That is a big lump sum of money to give to a father for a woman, which a woman is a very, prized possession as well. It's a crown and glory of a man, you know. Continuing, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. So again, man, she could be a full demon to him. Coming home, big old fucking big back Shirley or whatever. I'm just saying, and she's just constantly nagging at him. Always on him. Yeah, well, if you didn't take me in the field, if you didn't take me in the field, you would have to hear my nagging. But guess what? Now you got no route to file a bill of divorce, man. She's just making his life hell, man. He's thinking, man, why did I think with my other head? And that is what the stories are going to go around Israel saying, damn, man, that guy's wife is a demon to him, man. But hey, guess what? He can't get rid of her because he's stuck with her, because guess how he got her? Whoop, whoop, whoop. This is the law, man. But again, it's not like the woman like that would be full blown demonic, and just always be on it. But if a woman really did not love a man like that and she got took, which is I'm sure it happened before, man, it'd be a very toxic environment. So this is something to deter the men of that. Our men, like you say, man, we were a lot more blessed back in the day. So things were in order. We had sovereignty. There was arranged marriages. Usually the father took care of marrying his daughter. And I'll get that scripture. Man, because it's a heavy task. I know it's in the Apocrypha. And I don't have any children, but I can only imagine. This is Ecclesiasticus 7:25. Marry thy daughter, and so thou shalt have performed a weighty matter. But give her to a man of understanding, and only an aged man, not a little girl at the flowering age, as we was according to our custom in the ancient days, going to be able to choose a correct man. Is she going to choose the fastest runner, all the cutest boy in the block because he's the tallest one? No, man. But her father's going to give her to a man that he knows is established, has a business, can take care of himself, can more than take care of his daughter, knowing that she's in a safe place, knowing that he's given his daughter into a good family, that she's not going to get mistreated, that would look at her as their own. Most likely, like it says in the book of Tobit, we would give each other, to each other's tribes specifically. Issachar would try to marry within Issachar, man, because that's just how we are. It's not like that we're trying to, not like you're going off if you want to take another Israelite, but, a father would use those wise, how do you say, decision-making skills to make sure his daughter's in the correct spot, to be with a man of understanding of his tribe, all these things, man. So again, this Deuteronomy 22 is a stumbling block over many Israelites. But hey, guess what? It's something that has to be talked about. I pray and I hope that, you were able to understand the message that was trying to come across. This is not a sexual deviant type of a loophole in the scriptures that you can use to access. No, man, because ain't no brothers doing that, man. Guess what? We follow the law of the land. The law of the land is the Bible, the Constitution, and last I checked, it's illegal to do that in Babylon the Great and most places around the world. So again, that's not the time we're living in, nor do we recommend that to anybody. Because, hey, man, would you want that to happen to your daughter, your sister, your mother, your wife? No, man. So you wouldn't go out and do that. And that's, again, why these scriptures have the repercussions and the judgment laid out right there. And before the sun went down, hey, heads are fucking rolling or stones are flying. So again, that's the breakdown of those scriptures. Lord willing, that it was edifying unto the elect. Till next time, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachach Kodash, and double honors to the beloved elders, the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth, and peace and salutations to all you hopeful electokim out there laboring, that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. Till next time, Lord willing, Shalom.